Hey everyone, it's Job. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to Job's Journal. We create content about stationery, journaling, planning, and all things creativity. It is about halfway through the year. We are on the 8th month, so I probably should have done this a little bit closer to July, but I wanted to talk about my updated planner and journaling setup. The young cool kids are calling this their journaling ecosystem or planning ecosystem, but I feel like as I don't want to call myself like an elder in this community at all, but um, for the most part, many people have addressed this type of video as a Techo Kaigi, and Techo Kaigi is a Japanese term called planner or journal meeting, and it's essentially an exercise you do alone or with friends in which you take time to plan your planners and journals that you'll use for the upcoming year or any time of the year actually, because you can always move and change your system up however you please. But since we're halfway through the year, it's pretty normal within the stationary planning journaling space to do like a mid-year update to see how things are going. And yeah, I wanted to show you my current setup for my planners and journals. I have a very clear distinction as to what I categorize as a planner and what's a journal. I might interchange it, but for the most part, I try to keep them separate. So a planner is something that involves future plans or future events. So it's more forward thinking and related to things happening in the future. Whereas journaling for me is more reflective and things to do with the past. So reflecting on past things, documenting my emotions from, the past day that finished or even the past week, or even journaling about past trips. So when I talk about journaling, it's more of a reflective practice, and planning is more about the future. I know people use it interchangeably, but that's how I categorize my notebooks, and I think that'll be useful moving forward as we talk about the different planners and journals that I talk about. So let's talk about my Techo Kaigi or initial planner journal ecosystem. So I had my main planner, which is a plotter A5, which is a ring system. Plotters are a little bit different because they are skinny. They have 11 millimeter Krauss rings, and it's a nice on the go planner because it is modular and you can take pages and remove them and add new pages. It's been my planning system for maybe 3 years and I've been loving it. So that's what I use at the beginning of the year. I had a plotter mini 5 as like my everyday carry. I had two traveler's notebooks. I'll talk about these in more detail since I want to talk about the changes, but these were kind of the main four suspects. So this was my main journal. This was my weekly journal. This is my main planner. This is like my everyday carry slash like note on the go note system. But things have changed. So the biggest change that I'm going to talk about is this guy. So I love my plotter A5, but this has happened 2 years in a row. It's kind of like a planned event, but around June or July, I'll move out of my A5 system into, surprise, another plotter. This is the plotter Bible size. These are both in Shiranami leather. It's the Plotter USA exclusive leather. Yeah, I don't really have any rhyme or reason as to why this happens. My hypothesis is that in the summer it gets hotter and I want to, carry my planners and journals with me wherever I go, but I sweat a lot, and so this is gonna be heavier than this, and so I always want like a lighter setup, and so usually in the summer months, I have an itch to move here. And I think this is just like maybe like a planner or journal enthusiast thing, but I don't like to planner hop very often, but I do get an inkling to move like and change up my system like once a year. So this is kind of like my yearly move, and I have a feeling this is just gonna be how it goes for the rest of not my lifetime, but for many years. I feel like this will be something that I do regularly. But yeah, the contents are pretty much the same. So you've already seen what was in here. I have a fastener case. I always have a mood board, 2 mood boards actually, because I taught a class for that. I have my goals page. I have my reading tracker and my media log. And then I have my media journal. And then it goes into monthly pages. And then I have some stickers. And then I have weekly pages in here, but I took all of them out. So the weekly pages would be here. I have my work notes. I have more sticker sheets. I have my pen holder. I have Job's journal notes. So I have my Artist Way weekly tasks in here. These are free to download on my Patreon for everyone. So I'll leave that in the description bar if you're doing the Artist Way. And I keep some spare paper, and I keep things for my media journal in here and my book journal. I've been notoriously bad at keeping those updated, so I have books that I finished in January that are here that I've never documented, and it's just the way it is. Like this Receiptify receipt, it's like a Spotify like top 10 songs listed per month kind of deal. This is from April 2023, so 2 years ago. So I just kind of keep anything related to media, music, and books in here that I've printed out. I have my pen holder and lifter, and then the other side of my fastener case, which is just like a zipper pouch that I just keep stickers, labels. I usually keep postage stamps in here because I bring this with me everywhere, so it kind of just ends up being a pocket for receipts and whatnot. So love this. I don't have any qualms about it. I'll probably use this again at the beginning of the year. I just love using A5 at the beginning of the year because there's more space. But again, the summer heat ends up getting to me, and then I want to downsize. So I moved into the Bible size. This is again the Shiranami leather. It has a white wax coating that will eventually fade over time. This one is a newly these aren't even mine, guys. These are company samples, but I am gonna purchase this one off and maybe just keep this for myself because I've this was the first plotter that I used for work when we launched the Shiranami leather. It was just when I started at Designville, and yeah, this has sentimental meaning, this exact notebook. So I'm like, I can't just, I need to own this at some point. So I might just buy it out in the future. I'll keep you guys updated. But this is like a lot older, and then this is a newer one. So you can see that the white wax will fade over time. But the same setup kind of can like carries over in this planner. I have my what is this called? I laminated some baby's breath, just using a regular laminator. I have my vision board as usual, and then I made these guys a long time ago when I was just starting with my ring journey. This is not very my aesthetic anymore, so I want to redo it. I mean, I still like this, but I have really leaned into just brighter colors. Like I love neutral tones, and like I don't know, this is very autumnal, but I don't know, I need more color in my life. I'm so sick of like the neutral beiges and everything that's I mean I used to love it, I still love it, but I want to be more deliberately colorful in my planner. So that's just a personal choice. These are plotter dividers from the 5th anniversary. I love them so much. I wish they were part of the regular lineup because they're not the plasticky dividers that a lot of companies make, and I just love how it's like a thick cardstock. Obviously not as durable as like the plastic ones, but I don't know. This just feels really cool, and it's letterpress. And yeah, I mean, I could make this probably myself, but I don't have a letterpress machine, so I can emulate this style. And then yeah, I've been notably been a really bad monthly planner. I usually just keep the monthly pages in here just because I like having them there to reference the grand scheme of the month, but I'm more of a weekly planner. But in July and June, I actually started just putting birthdays and just like bigger events in here, and it's been nice. Like this is the current month, it's July right now. And yeah, I like how I've just been writing things down, sometimes after the fact, sometimes maybe in terms of like planning, I'll write down things that are for sure gonna happen in pen, and then I have used a pencil in here a few times, and I've erased them obviously because it was in the wrong date. But yeah, by the time you're watching this is probably August, so these are my August pages. Nothing fancy. I'm just using Zig Kuretake dot liner dot markers and some TRC dot stickers, keeping it simple. I have my closure elastic lifter with elastic. This is just some clear packaging from, I don't know, I think it was just from like food packaging or like something that I purchased that has like the plastic, molded plastic cover. This is a little bit more malleable. I don't remember where this is from, but it's definitely recycled because you can kind of see there's some like marks on here. But I don't know, I think it's a cool lifter. I mean, it's plastic, so it's not as nice as the paper one that I used at the beginning of the this setup. Again, more vellum that I made in the past. I like this because it's a little bit more colorful, but I'd love to just redo these in the future. And then yeah, I've been doing my weeklies, and in general I do my weekly planning the same in either my A5 or Bible. I use the left side for work. I usually do meetings on this side, work meetings. There's like a really faint line here, which is really nice. And I think it's really helpful for me to like see that there's a clear distinction between meetings and tasks. Sometimes they move their way on there, but whatever. And then usually I'll put my running to-do list for the work week on the Saturday and Sunday lines because I don't work Saturday, Sunday. And then on this side is personal stuff. So I think media and books, like TV, books, and music are really important to me. And so I just like to track what I'm watching and reading on the like the, I guess, the rightmost column. I basically mimic the width of this column on this side, and this is where I just write down what I was watching. There's tasks here, and these X's are if I did my morning walk. I was tracking my walks, and I haven't been because it's been really busy with work, and I haven't been walking outside. I don't want to go into like the political aspect of why, but since I live in the LA area, you can probably comprehend why I'm not going on outdoor walks as much anymore. But I do want to get it's sad, what is it called? What is that? A treadmill, like a walking pad, so I can continue my morning walks because I need my steps. It's good for my mental health. Yeah, it continues on. You can see some weeks are not as filled in because I was traveling. Like this is a travel week. This was a travel week. Still pretty filled in, but you can see like personal task or Job's journals tasks kind of took a hold when I was away. Yeah, it's been pretty good, but you can tell that when I'm in my true like work mode, I need more space because I am used to A5. So I actually just use just the regular refill memo pad from Plotter. This is the Bible size. Sometimes I'll use the narrow size because you can still see the dates here. And I'll sandwich this page in between the week. So this is like work stuff, and then this is still Job's journal. I didn't need the back side of this, but I just needed an extra sheet for my work tasks and notes. And so yeah, this is kind of how I normally plan when I'm back into normal working mode. And then yeah, follows the same format. This is the current week. I have my Job's journal to-dos on this side, and I have my work to-dos here. This is work, this is Job's journal and normal life stuff like laundry, and then this is media consumption. So it's been busy, but I've been liking it. I have I think until September, the first week of September in here. Lifter with pen holder, and then I have my can I show the first page? Maybe not. No, I'll just cover it just in case. This is my work work notes. Is there anything? Yeah, I think I can show this. This is just some handwriting, not my handwriting. This is by CY, Tokyo Station Pens / Kiseido. I just keep my work notes in here, and there's a lot. There's pretty quite a bit of work notes. Sometimes I'll archive the in-between pages from here into this folder. And then I have some TRC stickers, and then I have my personal notes. So I just have my bingo sheet for 2025, which is not going very well. I'm not going to show you in detail. And then just like some Job's journal / personal notes. And then I swatched some inks in here recently, and it's a nice reminder of the full bottles that I own. And yeah, I have a fastener case that I cut because I didn't need both, and as the plotters get smaller, I feel like the two-sided fastener case gets too bulky, and it creates like this lip almost where it's thicker like this, and then it's thinner, like it'll look like that, and I don't really like it. So I just need one zipper case, so I have that, and I really like it. I have, guys, this is a really nice pen. This is by Helvetica. I don't like the insert as well, but it fits Uni Jetstream refills, but you need to get the special Uni Jetstream ones, the ones that are a little bit tinier. Yeah, that's my planner. Let's move on to the rest of my system. Okay, let's talk about the other notebooks in my ecosystem, my planning and journaling ecosystem. My main planner has changed, but everything has kind of stayed the same. So let's talk about the notebooks that have stayed the same. So my EDC notebook, everyday carry notebook, is my Plotter Mini 5. I'm not going to go into too much detail because this is exactly the same. I have my monthlies, I have my pen, and I have my notes section, which is really just my fountain pen currently inked, and just some on the go note taking, and even some small journaling pages. This is really tiny, but I keep this in here because it's nice to just have basically a glorified notepad on you. So I just keep some blank dot grid pages here so I can write anything on the go. And I have the world's tiniest pen. This is the Orbit Key micro pen, and it takes Uni Jetstream refills, which I love. So I can still use my favorite pen on the go. So super cool. One of my favorite finds. Not the most comfortable writing experience, honestly, because it's a micro pen, but it gets the job done, and it doesn't add too much weight to the system, and I don't feel precious about it because it's a metal construction, and it's also not a fountain pen, so I'm not worried about sitting on this by accident. I mean, I'm more worried about crushing the ring mechanism if I accidentally sat on this, but I'm just happy that I have a pretty portable setup, and it's reliable. Keep it on me at all times. If I don't have this, I have this guy on me. I try to keep at least one notebook on my person whenever I go, because can you be journaling planner, stationery enthusiast without having an on-the-go notebook. So that's that Plotter Mini 5 Everyday Carry. Love it. And then I'm still using my Plotter. This is not a Plotter. This is a traveler's notebook, passport size. You might see the covers change, but the guts of it are the same. I treat my traveler's notebook covers kind of like jackets. Like, what jacket are we wearing today? I keep them, in the same cover for like a month or two, but I don't really feel like I need to, have one cover for one purpose, because I want to love and use all my different traveler's notebooks, and you probably have guessed that I have a lot of them. So this is my red traveler's notebook, but there is a Butler Werner Sales X Travelers Factory folder that I've been using, kind of like a temporary secretarial pocket. I saw someone at Travelers Factory, one of the staff that we interviewed was using their leather folder like this, and I thought it was so cool. It was on a regular size notebook like this, but I wanted to try it on my passport, and it's super cool because you just have like a temporary pocket, and if you don't need it for that time, you can just tuck it into your traveler's notebook like so. This charm I talked about in my intentional Japan haul. Still loving it. And then the guts of this are the same. I actually took out I had a kind of zipper pocket in here, but I thought I didn't need it just because this setup is so minimal and simple, and I just wanted to keep it that way. I have like a little catch-all journal. Sometimes this just acts as scrap paper. Like, I just need to jot some notes down. Like when we were working at the JINS event, I wanted to write down some of the names of the people that I met and some of the staff that was working there and the different people that we met that were cool. So I have that, but sometimes I journal in here when the mood strikes, or I have, extra surplus photos. I really like how this spread turned out from Texas. Super fun. That's just there. Sometimes people want to try the Travelers Company paper when we're at pop-ups. So, some people don't know what MD paper feels like, so I let them try it with their pen or my pen. It's kind of just like a catch-all notebook in here. And then I have the main thing that I use the most. It's the weekly journal. You can see I DIY'd this because I wanted July or June 27 to 29 to be part of this refill. My thought was that I would journal about my Japan trip while on the trip and write little blurbs about what's happening, but I sadly didn't. This was the day that I departed LAX, and that's why I wanted this to be in here. So my full Japan experience was in here, but we're almost in August and I'm probably like a month behind in this, which is sad, but I'm not nervous about it because this is the first part of this insert duo. You basically purchase this at the beginning of the year from Travelers Company or Travelers Company USA, and you get 2 notebooks, kind of like the Avec system for Hoba and Ichi. You have the first half of the year in the first book and the second half of the year in the second book. And I try to write a little blurb in here each day, but as you can tell, there's some weeks that I am behind or I miss it, and it's usually because I'm traveling. So when I'm traveling, I actually use my template that I made on my Silhouette Studio, so I can just drag and drop photos into my template and it'll be cut exactly to fit these little sections without covering up the dates. And it was weirdly a time-consuming process because all of these are actually a slightly different size because of the form factor of this traveler's notebook. So it was fun to figure out and to make, but it's also a really handy tool because there's some weeks that I'm on top of it, and then there's weeks that just get busy and I don't end up writing in here. So I just end up doing my little photo a day thing in here, and I think it's cool. There's some weeks that I strike a balance of using photos and using my words, which is fun, but it's just a quick little summary of the day, not too deep in terms of journaling and my feelings, but you can tell I'm behind. I stopped journaling in here on June 21st, and the time of filming this, it is July 28th, so about a month behind. And then lastly, my daily journal. And when I say daily journal, I don't actually get to journal daily, but when I have a significant event or there's something fun that happened that day, I'll try to journal. And yeah, there's a new addition to this. So this is my daily journal insert. This one's fresh because I actually just set this up for my upcoming work trip to Chicago and New York. And so this is the insert that I'm going to be using. I'm excited because this is volume 50. So there's definitely more than 50 Traveler's Notebook inserts that I've used up in the past 10 years. But this is the formal 50th daily journal that I have. And I'm super excited to tackle this in the coming days, which will be filled with travel. So I'm going to try and fill it up with travel ephemera and document my work trip. So I will try to journal daily, but we all know that's not going to happen. But I will update you with how this goes in the future. And then I am severely behind in my monthly journal. This is supposed to be just like a little summary of the day, like a little highlight, and a place to use stickers. It's like a sticker per day. In May I was really good about it. In April I was not. In March I was really good about it. In February and January I was not. So we are currently in July, end of July, and these are empty. But honestly, I'm just gonna sit down and look through my journals and fill this up. This will probably take like a good 30 minutes to an hour, but it'll be fun time to look through my old journals and just write a little blurb for each day. Not too nervous about not finishing this. And then I keep postcards in the back. And then I talked about this in my intentional haul. I'm super excited to try this. This is the 1 line per day refill. So this is kind of like the newest edition. Think of this as like a 3-year diary where you just write a phrase or a little sentence about each day. This is crazy because I am so bad again at keeping up with some sort of like daily writing, but I think this will be fun. Like maybe when I do my morning pages, I will write something about the day that passed. So I guess the workflow would be morning pages, write something about what happened the day before in here, and also write something that happened here. Could be seen as redundant, but I think this is super fun. I've never tackled any sort of like 3-year or 5-year journal. I know the Hobonichi 5-year journal is super popular, but I don't know. I thought a refill isn't too much of a hassle, and it's already integrated into my journaling system, so we'll give it a shot. But yeah, those are kind of the 3 notebooks that stayed the same. So right now we're at 4, which is what I started the year off of, but I have a new notebook that I want to talk about. A new bombshell has entered the villa, as they say in Love Island. I've never watched Love Island. I don't know why I'm saying that. But yeah, let's talk about that other new notebook. Okay, there she is, the new notebook. Ta-da! Let me just show you the cover. As you can see, it is an A5 size. This is the TSL X BK natural leather pen holder with clip. You can fit 2 pens in here. I just keep 1 pen, and I keep my Pilot Custom 823 in clear. If you haven't seen the intentional haul, go watch it. I basically talked about this for 10 minutes, but I love it. But this notebook is my morning pages notebook. You've probably heard me talk about morning pages a million times, but it's related to the Artist Way, which is a 12 week creativity and almost spirituality crash course in which you kind of tap into your creativity and work through your creative blocks to be, the artist that you were meant to be. And I started this back in May. I've had to take breaks in this program just because I was traveling, but I'm still continuing with it, and I've been continuing with the morning pages. And so morning pages are 3 pages of unfiltered stream of consciousness writing right when you wake up. It's a way to brain dump and drain your brain of any anxieties and worries or even happiness, just to get rid of any extreme thoughts in your brain so you can move forward with your day and move forward with creating art and being the creative person that was always in there and inside of you. So it's been great. I've been loving it. It's a great way to prime and start my day. I usually write in here after I do my morning walk, or I'll do my morning walk and write in here. Or sometimes, I do the reverse. Sometimes I write in here and do my morning walk. I haven't been doing my walks, as I've said earlier, but this is still part of my morning routine. I have a lovely cover on this MD notebook. This is the MD notebook A5 in lined. I've really fallen in love with MD paper notebooks again. I just think MD notebooks are so timeless and clean. It's the perfect slate. I love the paper. I think it's the right toothiness, but it's still soft. It works amazing with my fountain pens, especially my Pilot fountain pens. And I used to not like lined paper, but for stream of consciousness writing, which doesn't involve any doodling. I mean, at least for me, it doesn't. In my morning pages, it doesn't involve doodling or drawing or mixed media journaling and collaging. The line paper is perfect. You're not supposed to show your morning pages to anyone, but that's just how I've been writing in here. And then the cover is this lovely canvas cover. I have a bunch of A5 covers from over the years, but this one I picked up actually in Japan. It was about 1,700 yen, so maybe like $14. It's by the brand Laconic. I have never tried any Laconic products. This is my first one. I was tempted to buy a notebook, but I know myself, I really just want to use MD notebooks or use my traveler's notebook or plotter. So I have been really good about not buying random planners and notebooks because I know what works for me. But I did want to get this cover. It has this quote, which is beautiful. The only thing constant in life is change. And then there's some tulips on here. I love how you can tell this is it's almost pixelated, and it almost has that halftone texture that's seen in comics and older comics and also in manga. I love that texture. It almost looks like letterpress. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but the cover that I really, really wanted to get was B6 size, because the flowers on here were sunflowers instead of tulips, and it had the same quote. And I don't know, the yellow was just appealing, but this pinky red is beautiful. And since I've been loving primary colors like red, I think the pinky reddish orange of this matches my current aesthetic, but the yellow would have been nice too. The sunflower one only came in B6 size, and I didn't want to compromise and buy a cover for a notebook size that I don't use, so I thought this was the next best thing. And honestly, I've been loving it. It adds so much color to my desk and to my morning. When I look at this quote and I'm like, yes, this is so true. And then I look at this, I'm like, wow, so beautiful. We all love flowers. It's just, a reminder that things change and blossom and bloom, but also die and change and decay. And that's just the cycle of life. So it's like a morbid but also beautiful reminder each morning. That's my Techo Kaigi mid-year update, or my planner and journal ecosystem. I feel so trendy and girly pop when I use that because all the TikTok people, the girlies and the guys are using that term, and I want to feel part of the crew. But that's it. I love you so much. If you like content like this, be sure to check me out on Patreon. I do a lot of updates about my artist way journey there, as well as flip throughs of completed journals. I haven't been showing flip throughs on my channel as much, just because there's like a lot of personal content that I don't want to share to everyone. But if you want to see some pages, check out my Patreon. Oh my gosh, wait, end of video gang, leave a notebook emoji in the comments. Okay, love you, bye. And yeah, I love you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye, Eggies. I love you. Take care. Bye.